Hello everyone and welcome to Daily Game Review number 33. Today we have Fome 10Q versus Mecano 9Q. Alright, I feel like I've seen Fome's name before, so I think he may have submitted games before. Anyway, he's 10Q and we have a 9Q, so we'll see the 10Q trying his best to get to that single digit Q now, and a 9Q here trying his best to rank up and keep his single digit Q. And so both players should be playing a decent game. And we'll see White playing a Knight's move here. And so White playing 2, 3, 4 points, but I'm not a big fan of letting your opponent get this approach with support. So I'm not a big fan of playing the 3-4 over here when your opponent's going to immediately approach like this. Because it seems like it's too easy, right, to make a good combination for Black. Black, however, stopping all the Shamaris. Kind of an old-fashioned style, but I guess still playable. I know way back a long time ago when there wasn't any star points and there wasn't Komi, it was pretty common for White to always stop Black's Shamaris or corner enclosures with 3-4. And so here we see Black doing that as well. So perhaps Black is studying like old-fashioned games and trying this, but locally, I think playing just a normal Joseki would be fine for Black as well. So anyway, Black's going to play this way, so it might be a little old style, but we'll see how it plays out. Should be interesting. White plays a pincer here. Since he already has a high stone, I might want to consider a low pincer here to make the high-low combination. And high-low combination is usually pretty good. And we'll see Black choose a Joseki, and White chooses here. This almost never works. All right. Yeah. See, it doesn't work here. So White need to learn the Joseki here. So you can just play something like this and it'll be fine. And even if you just extend like so, it'll still be fine. Black gets the corner, you can get the outside. You could also can't really do this on because it's not low. You could also play a regular variation like this, and then maybe White won't do it. Black won't do that. Maybe something like this along these lines might be interesting. I'm not familiar with the one space high actually. I always play one space low, so I'll probably need to look this up myself. But a one space high shouldn't make too much difference. However, this can't be good because this is almost never played, right? Otherwise, this attachment wouldn't be played. So here you can see Black getting kind of an easy result. Gotta watch these cutting points though. I think it's okay for Black to just go something like this. White may get a surround, but the surround's not that important if because it's kind of facing the wrong direction, and Black can just kind of reduce it. And Black got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12 points. So like I always say that if your opponent gets an influence, you want at least 10 points on the inside, and the influence can't be like more massive than the common 3-3 invasion. It has to be more or less equal to the 3-3 invasion if you want the result to be equal. And I usually use that for a good comparison to see if the result's equal or not. And you can see this influence is not equal because not only is it facing the wrong direction from that White stone there, Black is actually canceling it out here. And so all White can do is make an extension here, and this is not the way to utilize thickness. And here you can see White gets about 10 to 14 points as well. However, Black can easily reduce it and get a couple points on the outside, and Black got this. So you got to look at the whole combination on the bottom. So Black got 4 points here, which cancels out these. So Black got a little bit more here than here, and Black has Sente, and Black's combination is better than White's. So I would say this result is a little bit better for Black if it plays this way. Yep. This is going to be problematic. See how it plays out. Okay, so now you can still kill it. Okay. Okay, good. I was wondering if White goes here, what happens? There. Cut. These two stones will probably die. Maybe they jump out. Maybe the corner dies. It's a difficult situation. But if you just go here, there's like no Aji, right? So there's just too much Aji in this area. There's too much Aji in this area. Unfortunately, white did not utilize the Aji good enough, and white can actually clamp or place here and get more solid, and then play like this. But this shape is really awkward on the outside. And you can see black actually got more on the inside. See 2, 4, 6, 12. Okay, so black has 12 points on the outside. The influence does not look good because there's a kind of a way to break out here. This is an underskirt, so there's not as many points here. And the influence is still reducible. And it's facing the wrong direction. So it's not. It's kind of doing its own thing. It's not making a good combination. There's no combination here. The influence has a hole here, has underskirt here. So this result is much better for black. White, however, just playing here. Black taking Sente. Possibly fine. Possibly fine. That may be fine. However, white can get us around here locally, and maybe there's something on the left. So that should be noted, but otherwise it's fine. White again playing this move. White, this is not a good move. This is a mistake. You already lost a lot once. Don't lose it a second time. Black, there's no reason not to cut. This is, I mean, sure it looks complicated, but this is the move. This is definitely the move. What does white do? White can't do anything. White doesn't really have a move here. Yeah. Definitely the move. Definitely the move. This, however, is getting tricked by white. Okay, don't ever extend here. If you want this move, just get this move. Don't ever extend here. Yeah, if you want the move, just play the move. Don't ever extend there and give another point. And then fix with the tiger's mouth. If you fix with the tiger's mouth, this stone is damaged on the outside, and the left side's combination is not good again. And let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8 points. So it doesn't have 10 points on the inside. This stone is damaged, so I still think this result's good for black. And black had to go here, actually. So this is already more than this, so I think this result's still good for black. Yeah, I think white's move is really, really bad, so don't do that, guys. White playing here, this is not a good invasion, since if black plays here, you can see there's no Aji in the 3-3, and the combination here is not... I mean, it's not terrible, I guess. It's not terrible. Usually I want the Aji at the 3-3, though. Okay, so white does play here. Black maybe trying too hard here. If you go here, it's fine, and white jumps out, and later there's a Tsuji to cut. If your opponent tries to go here and fix your shape, I mean, that's fine. You still got some points locally. There's still some Aji, and you can actually extend here, and you can see what you lost here, you immediately made up over here. And the Aji, maybe 1 point jump. It should be fine. There's some Aji in here. Of course, it doesn't work now because of this. So there's some Aji in here. Some white can connect like this. No, it can't. Okay. Yeah, definitely. There's still some Aji in here. So I think this result's still good for black. Just do this. White still owes a move on the inside. White can jump out. I think it's still fine for black. But I mean, this is an invasion, right? So I mean, white's going to destroy some stuff. This may be greedy. All right, because you have to get a stone over here, otherwise all of this is pointless. Now white is cutting you off, but with the large knight's moves, you have to be very careful about the liberties. Have to be very careful. Yeah, all this is happening. So black, you really got to get a stone over here, otherwise you're influenced. There you go. There you go. So perhaps white should play over here now. Now, is white going to die on the inside? That's a question. So we can reduce here, and we can reduce here. So, yep, possibly. Quite possibly. I would defend here. Not here. because it puts more emphasis on the corner, and black still has to go over here. All right, but I still think maybe black shouldn't have let white live so easily up there. So let's see. Black lost all of it there. Black had maybe 10 points here. And now he lost the corner as well, so maybe about 15 to 20 points. He has to make up over here. That's a little bit difficult. I think black lost out a little bit here. So I think white got a little bit better, more than he should have. Alright, so moving on. And we see white playing this weird invasion again. I think this time, since black has an extension, you can go ahead and block this side. Black blocking the corner. Why on the second line? Why not the third line? I don't understand why the second line here. I think this one's okay because black has an extension now, so it's not like white can take away your base. Even if white does something like this, it's kind of pointless. I mean, white's actually fixing your Aji. And white still only has one eye, so white's still weak. But I think this is fine. I think this is fine. White will make a combination here. No, this is a terrible move for white because when you go here, it's Hane Heta 2, and you can double Hane. So this is definitely a terrible move, terrible result for white. So I definitely want to play this way. This, however, will give white this extension. You have to block, and white's making eye shape on the side. Nice little clamp, but maybe it's fine. This is bad. Definitely bad. White should either cut or leave the Aji, because there's Aji here for some type of combinations, maybe here or here. There's a lot of Aji here, so you do not want to fix that Aji. I think white's trying to go for the 3-3, but he's not alive yet here. So black just needs to connect. No, what are you doing, black? Fix this. If white lives in here, yeah, that's that, but now white's dying over here. So white is tricking black like crazy. White, I think, plays a bunch of trick moves, and that's not what you want to play, guys. Trick moves only work for so long, but if you want to improve, you have to make a solid foundation in your games. Maybe a trick move can work in a tournament to win you an important match, but only if your opponent's not strong enough to see it. But eventually you're going to run into an opponent. Actually, no, I don't even recommend that. Scratch that. Don't even do that. Because eventually you're going to get to a point where your opponent's going to understand the trick moves and know how to punish them. And you then what do you do? Because then it's too late, right? Once you just got punished, then you're like, oh, okay, this guy's too strong for this. Well, then what do you do then? You have to play the good moves eventually. You have to play the proper moves eventually. So you need to learn them like as soon as possible to get a good foundation to improve your game. Black, you're gonna have to work on your exchanges. Work on your exchanges a little bit and try to not get tricked. Right, just try to remember what's the big area right now and what's the biggest idea. See what your opponent's aim is. If you don't like the Aji, playing this is actually still fine. I mean, even this is fine. And if you really want the points, you can even play this way. And that way you can still get the corner and stop white's base. I mean, as long as you're stopping white from living immediately and keeping some points, you're still fine. So that may be fine as well. But here is not fine because now white just lives. These 3 stones are in the middle of nowhere. And this doesn't work. This is a misread. See, now you're damaging yourself. If it doesn't work, don't play it. So you got to read your moves before you play it. Don't just play it assuming it'll work. Read your moves before you play it. And if you get confused, calm down and really read things through and think about what's important here. Just read the best you can. I know you're not going to be able to predict your opponent's moves, but as soon as they play a move, you have to read the best result you can read. So, for example, you have this result, right, to get some influence. So perhaps getting an extension over here is fine. What can you do? What can you get away with? You can get away with here. Can you get away with like something like this? So your opponent's being crazy. What about... No, that's bad. Actually, since white's not alive here, you can even go here. And then maybe come out here. Maybe you can think about coming out here. If your opponent invades... make a base. Yeah, make a base. jump, 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 and then come out. And there's still some forcing moves here, so maybe some type of combination like this is a little bit better. But you have to have a plan. You have to think, what am I gonna do? What am I gaining? See, how does these two stones help this stone? See, you had the same idea as I did, but you don't need this exchange over here. It doesn't help. Now playing here, now you're defending your weakness, which is fine. But would have been a lot easier if you had that Atari. And since white played here, you kind of owe a move down here. Don't forget that. Actually, since these three stones are not cutting anything, I think they're kind of small. I would just go ahead and like probably fix. How to fix? Just something, right? Just something? Just fix. Fix yourself. These aren't actually important anymore. You can actually sacrifice these. So this is actually really damaging. That's why I wanted to fix. If white comes in here, it's really damaging. And black misreading. Okay, so I think the biggest issue is white, you gotta stop playing these crazy moves. You're gonna have to learn the basic moves eventually. So I would recommend for white, replay some professional games. Probably older Japanese games, 40, 50 years ago. I mean, everyone's heard me say this, like, I don't know, dozens of times in these videos. Because that's where the shapes are, is the old Japanese professional games. That's where the shapes are, and learning good combinations. That's where you want to go. As for black, your reading needs work, so I recommend doing go problems every single day. If you can only do a couple problems a day, that is fine. Just do them every single day. Maybe do a couple during breakfast, a couple during dinner or something. Just do them every single day. You gotta get the reading down. So I think black, you gotta work in your reading, and white, you gotta work in your basics, your foundation. And I think that's the biggest issues in this game. A lot of other stuff, but I think mostly it's over. White should have an overwhelming... White's overwhelming black, it looks like, just because black doesn't know how to respond to white's moves. And I think that's going to be like the idea for the rest of this game. And we'll see the result. And I'm going to assume it's white won, even though I didn't see the second half of the game. Black won by forfeit. Hold on, let me... Score estimator... Black is up by 1.5, and it's not completely correct. Okay, so it's relatively close. Relatively close. But remember early on when this whole area got destroyed, and it was black's area? So I think white probably just messed up, and black probably punished white. Over here it looks like something happened. Here we go. Okay, yeah, so it was a simple little thing. So if white just connects here, black loses. Because if it was within 1 or 2 points, if white just connects here, black loses. So that's what it is. White just got too greedy and missed one little Atari. However, if white just connects here, white is way ahead. So that's where the game was. That's where the game changed. But otherwise, I think the biggest thing about this game isn't the result. It's the first half. And I think both players can learn something from this game. White... your trick moves are only going to work for so long. I don't know what to tell you other than that. You're going to have to learn the basics eventually, so you might as well start now. And black, just start doing life and death problems and try to revert the game back to basics, back to understand what you can understand, and make sure your reading is really good. Because if your reading is soft in any way, these type of players will probably eat you alive, because their trick moves... they have a plan, and if you can't see through their plan with their trick moves, their tricks become very powerful to Tsujis. But if you can see through their plan, their moves are really, really bad. So it all depends on your reading. I mean, there's no other way to deal with these types of players other than out-reading them. That's their weakness, is if you can read, you beat them. If you can't read, then they trick you and you lose. And that's what it is. But this is a skill you can improve. I think it's a lot easier to improve your reading than other stuff like positional judgment and experience. Experience is a really big thing. That's actually something I found out I have to work on, is I need more experience. But anyway, I think reading you can improve, since there's a very well-known method for that, and that's just do go problems. And yeah, hopefully that will help both players. And hopefully both players enjoyed this review, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this review as well. And yeah, thanks for submitting the game. And remember, guys, if you would like to submit a game for a chance to get it reviewed, please see the link in the description below. And until the next video, guys, see you guys later.